Okay. I started recording a video and then cut off, but I found a better way of putting what I was, better way to say what I was saying. Okay. You have two different kinds of poverty. You have like material poverty in the physical, and you have spiritual poverty. So I mean, sometimes they both go together, sometimes they don't. Let me explain. You can be rich and you can still be in spiritual poverty. You can be poor and you can not be in spiritual poverty, and vice versa. It's not they're not mutually exclusive to each other. But for the most part, a lot of people that are in material poverty are also in spiritual poverty. Matthew 13:44. The kingdom of heaven is like the treasure hidden in the field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in joy he went and sold all he had and bought that field. Now let's talk about how Matthew 13:44 relates to spiritual poverty. See, the thing is, the man who found the kingdom of heaven in the field, we're going to presume he had to been working in the field to begin with. And he wasn't out looking for treasure. See, he was working in the field when he found the treasure. And he didn't own the field because he hid it, and then he went back to take ownership of the field. He took ownership of it. So first he was working in it. Then he found something while he was working in it, and then he took ownership of it. That might be a revelation for some of y'all. That might. Hold on. Because it go even deeper. Before he could even take ownership of it, he had to sell everything he owned. So he had to give up something before he could get something. But he saw the value in something. See, whoever had owned the field, they saw the value of it as a field. He saw a greater value in that field that he would give up everything he owned to have that field. So I'm gonna tell you, this probably what that man understood about finding, the kingdom in the field. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He brings low and he exalts. He rises up the poor from the dust, and he lifts the needy from the ash heaps and makes them sit with princes. And he inherits seats of honor. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and on them he has set the world. Now, all right, now we ain't talking about magic. We ain't saying like you cursed, that's why you poor, and like you blessed, that's why. That can be a thing, but that's not that. I don't think that's what it's saying. Now, first you gotta be doing the work and walking with Christ. Now, that's the thing. Now, first you gotta be doing right to begin with. You gotta repent for where you done did wrong, and you gotta do right. See, you gotta already be working in the field before you gonna find anything. You can't be just out there doing what you want to do and then be like, boom, it's gonna hit me. Nah, it might hit you. No guarantees on that one. Ain't no guarantees. It's pretty much saying you gotta walk the walk, talk the talk, and then at some point you gonna have to just give up everything and take ownership of that thing. That's what it's saying. Is that when you do that, you can be exalted. You can be sitting with princes. But see, the thing is, have you prepared yourself for when you get there? See, you had a moment when somebody's ready to give you the world, and you can mess it up because you haven't been prepared for it. See, you don't have to know everything. See, some stuff will tell itself. If you've been doing what you've been supposed to been doing, it's gonna reflect. You've been doing something, but some people just like, I don't know what they've been doing. I can't really call it. It don't look like you've been doing what you supposed to been doing. You know, I got friends like some of them all over the place, and some of them consistent. I cannot talk to this person for months at a time, but they still doing like they same thing. They still going to work. They still taking care of their kid. That's what they doing. These other people, like you see them one day and like it's one thing, and the next day it's another thing. Like that's not good. That's not good. You gotta consistently walk the walk and talk the talk, and then you gotta take ownership of it. It is say something about you. You should just hide it till you gonna take ownership of it. It don't say play with it. It ain't say play with it. It ain't say play with the kingdom. Like go over there and play with it. That ain't what it said. And yeah, in case you don't get it, like one thing mirror another. So let me break it down for y'all that don't be missing the point. See, like we can throw religion and spirituality all the way out this and just go by the principles of what was just said. We can throw all that out. Not to say we should throw that out, but just for sake of conversation, we're gonna throw that out for just a hot second. Then we're gonna throw it back in there. Okay. Here's the thing. It's like Scarface. Like first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. It's like that, but not like that. See, first you do the work. Once you do the work, which the work come with, you gonna get some understanding when you're doing that work. Then you put that work in action and take ownership of that work. That's how you actually, become wealthy in life. Right there. Like you work, you save, you invest, and at some point you're gonna become wealthy. Boom, right there. It's just that simple. It's that simple. It's the same thing, just put a whole another way. Everybody can't like flip it back and forth like that though. But you supposed to flip it back and forth. When Jesus was out there in the boat with his crowd, so so many folks trying to run up on him, he had to get in the boat. So like, yeah, he out there, he trying to tell them like, see, I be talking in parables. See, it's for who can understand it. Sometimes I can break down. I can break it down. Like I don't be breaking it down for everybody, but I can break it down. I ain't gonna say I can't, but some folks don't ask you smart questions. They ask you dumb questions, so you give them dumb answers. That don't mean you dumb. That just mean they ask you a dumb question. But the thing is, we trying to elevate each other around here. We trying to elevate each other. So I'm just putting it out there. It's the same thing. If you can solve basically spiritual poverty, you can solve material poverty, because it's the same thing. It's something in the physical that you were doing incorrectly that is not of God. That is why you are not materially. We just leave that right there. We're gonna leave it right there. It's something you doing that is probably not right in the spirit. It probably ain't right in the spirit. That's why like you ain't succeeding in the physical.